Hey folks, Bill here, Whirlybird Video Productions, back at the shop today working on a little mini quad. You guys haven't seen me in a couple of weeks. I've been busy working on actually building a couple flight test airplanes to get ready to go up to Flight Fest in July, so I'm trying to get a couple airplanes ready for that. But I'm also getting the turbine off the shelf. You guys may have seen that start up and running of the turbine that I did there a few months ago. Got the dust all knocked off, cleaned it off. It's an aviator, so it's a trainer jet, and got it all ready. Put the DX18 radio system in it, got it all going, and unfortunately caught the high grass on takeoff out at our field. The hay's getting pretty tall. Unfortunately, couldn't pull across the hay, and the hay reached up, grabbed my landing gear, jerked me back down, broke the airplane in half. But that's not going to stop the jet video. It's just going to slow it down. So couple weeks, once my MasterCard gets built back up, I'm going to look for a nano boomerang most likely, because we do fly off of grass, so I want something I can easily take off and land from grass. And I've been wanting the boomerang anyway. I was actually getting the turbine running on the aviator to make sure everything was okay to get that nano boomerang. So it really just, it's unfortunate. I was hopes to sell the old airframe and offset the nano boomerang. But at any rate, that's why you haven't seen a video in the last couple weeks. So at any rate, I had ordered this several weeks ago from Ready to Fly Quads. This is their I'm looking at my paper, QAV250. It's an X quad frame, kind of like the one Hobby King has. This one's actually says, I can't pronounce that word, Diatone, Diat1 FPV 250, Super Light Series. Okay. So at any rate, what they did, though, is add the little pieces, which I think you can get that from Hobby King now, that adds little pieces. And I'm not finished with this yet. I'm putting it together. But I come to a very important part, and I was like, I know this is like beating a dead horse, but it really does make a difference, is to balance your propellers. So, I've got my Dubro bouncer out here. You can use any bouncer you got, but I've got this, had this forever, and it works great. Now, most likely the little gem fan props that I'm using aren't going to be bad out, but, it's always good to check them. So I just can't emphasize enough, go ahead every time and make sure your blades are in balance. FPV or not, even an airplane, if you're flying an airplane, check your balance on your airplane propellers. It'll really make a difference. I mean, the airplane's not going to fly any different most likely unless it's incredibly out of balance, but you wouldn't believe what relief of stress that's going to have on the airframe by having a balanced propeller. So go ahead, it doesn't take a minute to check it, and what we're going to do today is just check it. I'll show you the way I do it. It's not necessarily the correct way, it's not necessarily a wrong way, it's just the way that I've done it. And I've done this for 20, 30 years that I've been in the hobby. I've used this kind of method to do it. Back in the day, we flew woodies all the time, the wood props, and we'd actually sand on the back side, CA on the light side, and that's how we did it. So we didn't really use tape. But today's, with all the electrics and the plastic propellers, tape really works well. And I use just any kind of tape. This is gift wrapping tape. We won't say the brand name because they're not paying me for the advertisement. But at any rate, that's what I use. But really, any kind of tape. If you have black propellers, you could use electrical tape. It depends on how much tape, according to how bad out of balance the propeller is. So let's get around here. I'll zoom in a little bit on this and show you how I do it, just so you know. And always balance your propellers. Let's take a look. So on this little Dubro balancer I got here, it's just pretty neat. It's got a spring and a little piece of fuel tubing that serves as a keeper. You just pull that off. Pull the fuel tubing off. Then your spring and washer comes off. Washer, turbine. You guys get all over me because I'm a redneck. But I don't really care. You can make fun of the way I say turbine and washer. Soldering. You guys are still great guys because you fly RC. So once you get it on, you just put your fuel tubing down there to where it holds that tight. The way these two little cones are made, it puts that right in the middle once you squish them together there. And then you simply put it on your balancer. And then I like to just kind of test it a few times before I do anything, just to see where that heavy blade is. And it definitely looks like that bottom one might be just a little bit heavy, but it ain't much. So I can definitely tell that that blade there is a little heavy. So what I'm going to do is take a little piece of tape. It's probably not going to take much tape. And on the leading edge of your propeller, so the spinny side that goes around and around in the wind, I'm going to stick that tape. Now I'm not going to fold it over yet because I want to see how much of that tape I actually need. So this should be really evident now that is really heavy, and I may have put even way too much tape on there. But what I can do now is just cut that off, still leaving a little flap out there. Again, I probably put way too much to start with. Yeah. So we'll just keep whittling it down. I'm going to turn my tape this way. Cut some more off. Still see that little flap there where we can get this just where we want it. Tape sticking to my finger. So we're getting close, but I mean you can tell that one's still really heavy. And on the propeller, I generally go kind of in the middle of the propeller if it doesn't require much weight. If it requires quite a bit of weight, you can of course go out toward the end, but you don't want to get out on the leading edge or the upper end out there because it's really spinning fast out here, and it's better to be kind of in here, maybe even there just a little bit. Oh, you're getting there now. This propeller is so small, this is really hard to do. But any direction you should put it, you shouldn't see it doing every single time like it was with that prop. Now that I've got the right amount of tape on, I'm just going to wrap that on around, go all the way around it. Then I'll check it one last time. And that's balanced. So we have a balanced propeller. Now we got to do this 3 more times and get my propellers. And I generally, even in my bag of propellers, while I'm setting here my extra propellers, I'm going to go ahead and balance them. That way, if I get out to the field or wherever I'm flying and I break a propeller, all I know I'll do is grab my extra propellers and I'm ready to go. And it doesn't take long. In a few minutes, you can balance every single one of those propellers. Then you've got propellers on your quad balanced and your extras. So thanks for watching. Look for more video on this little quad. I do want to get a mini blackout or that Lumineer. I've looked at it and I like the way that thing looks. So I may get the Lumineer with the case and all that good stuff. But I wanted to try this because you just can't get the blackout right now. You can't get a lot of those. It's, you know, they're sold out everywhere. I contacted Paul with Ready to Fly Quads and ordered this stuff. I actually ordered the wrong motors when I had ordered it. I ordered the professional series and I didn't understand the way that they were labeled, and I was actually getting a much bigger motor. The good part is those motors were $48 a piece, and these motors were at like $17 a piece. So Paul caught that, sent me an email and said, hey, are you using these motors on this quad, or what are you doing? And I said, well, that's the plan. He said, well, you ordered the wrong ones. So he put these into place. These were his recommendations. These are like his house brand motors. They're 2300 kV motors. They look like pretty nice little motors. And the best part is when I get my refund for that difference, which he's going to refund me the difference of those motors, is I'll put that towards the Mobius camera that I'm going to use on this to do the FPV stuff. So again, look for more on this. I'm almost finished. Well, I'm actually going to go out and do a couple test flights. Once I get the test flights done, I'm going to start strapping my FPV gear to it. I'll be using the transmitter from Foxtech, the 600 milliwatt transmitter. The Mobius camera is going to be my camera. And the controller that's in this is also from Ready to Fly Quads. It's the Flip 1.5. And the good part's it's already set up. When you order this from them, you basically check off what you're putting it on, and he goes ahead and sets it up for the quad. So really, you stick it on there, bind to your receiver, set it up the way that when he gives you this little thing that the controller comes in and it tells you, hey, set your radio to this, and it flies. I've already did one test flight on it just to see if I had everything right. Picked it up, said, yeah, it's okay. Need to balance my props. So this is balancing the props. Look for more videos on this. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe. I need all the help I can get. Tell all your friends, even if they don't like RC, hey, just go subscribe to him so he gets a subscription. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on Early Bird Video.